এবার এই পার্টটা আমি ইংলিশে বলছি। Now this part I am speaking in English. It was published in newspaper in India, Anandabazar. Date was 25th July, Saturday, 25th July 2020. Acha. It was like this. আমি ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, রাত 11টার আগে আমাকে পাওয়া যাবে না। T cell, that is T lymphocyte, is one type of immune cell. The main role is to identify and destroy the invading germs in AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. In AIDS, T cell is destroyed gradually by the কথা বলছে কিন্তু চুপ করিয়ে দাও। Is destroyed gradually by this virus. Professor of Immunology of King's College in London, the chief of scientists of Francis Crick Institute, Adrian Hayde has said, the idea is like this. Now, আমি এখন রিপিট করছি এই ইংলিশ পার্টটা, কেমন? Now I am repeating the part which I am speaking in English. That is, T cell. This is the latest information regarding COVID treatment and after treatment. This is done by person is infected with any virus or bacteria, that is the antigen, and after infection with certain antigen, there must be antibody to neutralize the infection done by the virus or like this. But in case of COVID patient, those who were tested positive, was admitted in hospital, and after treatment, the patient is outside in hospital or in home treatment, the patient is free from infection. That very infection, this is the natural rule is, after infection, there must be sufficient antibody which is created during, but in many cases, after cure, there is no trace of antibody against COVID-19. Some are very less. And it is seen that after 3-4 months of attack, no trace of antibody against COVID. Previously, it was said that where there is no antibody, sufficient antibody, the recurrence of COVID may appear. But this theory cannot explain the patient previously infected with COVID-19. And it is also seen that, it is also observed that patient is infected with COVID-19, not admitted in hospital, remain in own house, own residential place, without taking any medicine. The patient is, after a few days, the patient is free from all the adverse symptoms. But no antibody is there. How it possible? Then the expert, the scientist has explained this phenomena. What it is the another mechanism. Through another mechanism, it is happening. What it is? No, here there is no antibody, but T cell, T lymphocyte, the immune cell. One kind of immune cell, T lymphocyte, is play its role against the infection without producing antibody. This is one type of activity of immune system, efficiency of immune system. The activity of T lymphocyte was observed during the pandemic condition of AIDS virus. It was like this. Any individual infected with AIDS virus acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. They destroy that very virus, that AIDS virus, destroy or kill T lymphocyte gradually. And when this killing totally destroy T lymphocyte, so T lymphocyte has very important role against this type of infection, highly infection. How they, without producing antibody, how they destroy the T lymphocyte. See, their explanation is like this. The main role is to identify and destroy the invading germs. Professor of Immunology of King's College in London, chief scientist of Francis Crick Institute, has said, the idea is like this. Reporting the attack of the enemy, WBC sounded the alarm. Very interesting. When the infection is started in an individual, in the beginning, WBC, white blood corpuscles, the WBC, sounded the alarm. Just like when there was a, my goodness, system in every locality, there was a security. He is one or two, they are one or two. When there is dacoit or thieves enter into the village, they sound the bell and the villagers alert, and the invaders bound to leave the area. Like this way, when immediately after invading the antigen, they means WBC sound the alarm bell to become alert against this. And that very time, the T cell, T lymphocyte starts its function. How it is? Reporting the attack of the enemy, WBC sounded the alarm. After 4 to 5 days of attack, T cells start its function. They identify infected cell and kill. And what is the mechanism? The mechanism is like this. The outer layer of the T cell, that is the protein part. The protein part of the outer layer of T cell help in these activities. Means how it is, that very protein, which protein? The outer layer of T lymphocyte is connected with or joined with protein of the virus, and that very protein killed that virus, those viruses. This is the mechanism which is explained by Hayden. Act as a memory chip. That is why if we attack with any virus or any antigen, the T lymphocyte which fight against that very antigen and save the human being, that T lymphocyte act as a memory chips. And when this type of infection just want to infect, immediately they fight with that very antigen and kill them. That is why same type of highly infectious disease recur very, very rare, as because the T lymphocyte acts as a memory chips. As previously, these cells are experienced with this type of virus or like this. So once infection happens, the T lymphocyte is efficient how to fight this type of virus. Information. Researchers report that after antibody test of the infected person, after antibody test shows negative regarding the antibody which should be produced within that very infection period. Antibody test shows negative, but T cell test shows positive. So this is another information. As we previously know that after infection there must be antibody which was produced for that very infection, but no trace of that type of antibody. No trace of that type of antibody. Then how the person is free from that very infection? Now the researchers said that when antibody test negative, but immune cell is negative, but T cell test positive. That means T cell has play its role very efficiently. That is why after infection, T cell test possible. And this is the idea of modern science. But what is the use of real homeopathy in this connection? In this connection, real homeopathy has explained for this what it is. Now, one thing should mention that in the word of heyday, as the patients, those who are not get admitted into hospital after infection, it is clear that T cell is working against this infection. So here no antigen antibody reaction was there. But what is the explanation regarding the treatment? Regarding the treatment of COVID-19. As we everybody know, the vital force of each and every individual for any infection. But you immediately can ask, if the vital force is alert, how infection is happening? Very reasonable question. Vital force alert, but infection is there. Vital force alert, no infection is there for somebody. What I have always observed that those persons was prevented any infection, not only COVID, any infection with carbobacterium, those persons never attacked with COVID. Previously, I have written in an article, Corona the latest news, there in home, there are 8 members. 7 members were attacked with coronavirus, but except one. You may tell that T lymphocyte of that very individual was very much powerful. Yes, I am agree with you, but how it was? It was done by carbobacterium. But other 7 persons have not taken previously carbobacterium. Only that very individual has taken carbobacterium. So it is very clear that carbobacterium has increased the vitality as the vitality of T lymphocyte. Is it clear to you or not? Again, I am telling very remarkable part for the real homeopathic therapeutic system. What it is, I am telling very slowly. If please try to understand. If somebody asks, any layman or any therapeutic system, your carbobacterium can do nothing. Your statement is unscientific. Can you prove? Your carbobacterium is the responsible factors for preventing carbobacterium, and this is the scientific explanation. After tonight's lecture, I must write down it in brief, not in brief, in descriptive way, in a scientific way, and you must read it and protest and tell anybody what is the science behind carbobacterium, which was mentioned frequently with real homeopathy. As I am telling very slowly, you please try to understand, make me understand. It was in Jashore, treated by my student. You have seen, I think, the Corona, the latest news, what it was. One student from China, his residential place is in Bengal, Bangladesh. So that very strain came from China when there was COVID case was very available, and from, I think, from safe from this adverse situation, he came Bangladesh. And after coming in Bangladesh, he was maintained quarantine for 14 days. And after that, he came one of the relatives' house. In that very house, there are eight members. He came there on last of January. Yes, and I came to his relative's house. It was first week of February, but COVID infection was started April. I think it was 16th April. It was written there in details. Previously, it was want to give carbamazepine for their sake of healthy life. So it was, the program was going on. That time the program was going on. Only one person of that very, out of 8, one person has taken, one person took the carbamazepine according to my instruction.